What is going on, guys? NRUK Racing League here, and today we're getting ready for Lucozade Cup Series time today, and the Daytona 500 kicking off the season as usual. Should be an outstanding race. Looking very much forward to this. But before we go on to the race today, we had some unfortunate news come through 15 minutes ago, pretty much, that former Chelsea, Man United midfielder and England captain Ray Wilkins has sadly died at 61. So yeah, sad about that. But let's concentrate on the brighter side of things. It is the Daytona 500. It is the biggest race of the year. And without further ado, let's get through to your starting lineup. So on the pole is Tom Warham in the 26, to his outside the 75 of Larry Wood. Then we have the 41 of Gustavo Rocha, the 20 of Danny Lloyd, the 88, that's Code Luigi, the 48, Jay Jefferson, the 18 of Stephen Davis, the 25 of Rufus Barrett, the 13 of Scott Watson, who won the truck race. Then we have the 66 of Gregory Ross, who won the Asda race. Then we have the 78, that's Earl Jenkins, 96 of Jerry Jackson, who won the Clash. Then the 14 of Joe Jefferson, the 42 of Colton Yo, the 38 of Jack Lagacy, the 17 of Alan Gray, the 34 of Al Lagacy, and the 43 of Calvin Moss. Then we have the 3 of Brandon Lee, the 47 of Sylvester Curry, the 19 of Neil Galloway, and the 1 of Roger Ray. Then we have the 2 of James Stabilito, the 12 of Kaylee Baran, then the 9 of Jacob Mitchell, the 52 of Harry Schneider, the 10 of Anthony Flores, the 95 of Dewey Goodman, the 11 of Jake Galloway, the 51 of Lucas Graves, then the 33 of Todd Edwards, the 62 of Dash Bran, the 32 of Derek Edison, the 72 of Richard Murphy, the 21 of Marcus Sachi, and the 4 of Derek Hamill. Then we have the 37 of Joe Frank, the 22 of Aaron Price, the 24 of Thomas Kelly, and the 92 of Tony Newman, the 6 of Elijah Murray, and the 31 is Diego Yepes. So yeah, here we go then. Tom Warham in the 26, your pole sitter with Larry Wood on the outside. Let's go racing at Daytona. Here we go then. Getting ready for what should be a fantastic Daytona 500. 30 laps around the world centre of racing. Tom Warham starts on the front row in his Doritos sponsored 26. Larry Wood is to his outside. And there's a lot of cars in behind that. Who is going to be the first ever Lucozade Cup Series champion? It's going to be a fantastic season. But today, a win would help all of these drivers have a massive chance of getting in to the chase for this season. Pace car then leads the 42 cars down to the line. Pulls down into the pit stop. And it is then green flag. We're racing in the Daytona 500. Tom Warham gets a good jump on the start there. He leads with Gustavo Rocha and Danny Lloyd in behind. Here comes Rocha down to the low side for Stuart Haas. Gustavo Rocha to the lead at Daytona. Stephen Davis and Danny Lloyd, the Joe Gibbs teammates, down there on the low side as well. Coming to the line then. Looks like Gustavo Rocha is going to lead the first lap of the Daytona 500. As they shuffle in the pack. 2 wide, apart from that second lane which has gone 3 wide with Code Luigi in the middle. Is anyone going to support him? Doesn't look like it. Down there you have the 13 of Scott Watson, who won the Furniture 0250 in the trucks a couple of days ago. He's going to look to win the 500, but old Jenkins will move to the inside with a push from Joe Jefferson in the 14. Watson now moves up to the middle lane with Luigi and Jack Lagacy. Old Jenkins is out front. Joe Jefferson is there. Come to the line. Jenkins will lead the second lap of the 500. A long way to go yet. strategy, pit stop strategy will all come into play as well. But there's Joe Jefferson pushed by Al Lagasse in the 34. Brandon Lee and James Stabilito down there as well. They're coming racing down the backstretch. All 42 cars. Looking good at the moment. Al Lagasse is out front for Front Row Motorsports. But Brandon Lee looking to challenge down to the inside for Richard Childers. James Stabilito there as well, who always has seemed to be there in speed weeks. Al Lagasse led that lap. Here comes his brother, Jack Lagasse, down to the inside in the 38. Anthony Flores and Neil Galloway there as well. Hurtling down the backstretch. Free wide action here at Daytona. It's been a very enjoyable 500 so far. We're not even that much of it through it yet. We still got a long way to go here. So it's all about if you can time your move right to get to the front. They're going to go full wide in the second lane. There they go. Huge wreck at Daytona. All the leaders taken out, including your leader Jack Lagasse. There was another car flipping down in the infield. And they're all wrecking here. Huge wreck in Daytona. Absolutely huge. Who even made it through that? I think only 3 cars. 5 cars made it through that wreck with no damage. Ray, Schneider, Edison, Galloway and Mitchell, the lucky ones to make it through. That was a huge wreck there. Look how many cars are torn up. Let's go see how that wreck started. But a huge wreck here in the 500. If you look here then, the wreck is actually started by the 9 of Jacob Mitchell. They went 4 wide. It's worked before but it did not work this time. And it actually wasn't started by Mitchell. Looks like Brandon Lee got down into the 19 and just look how many cars. Lagasse goes over. Scott Watson in the 13 goes absolutely flying down. Down the straight. A horrible wreck for him. Tom Warham, your pole sitter, spinning towards the inside. And just a horrible wreck at Daytona. So many cars taken out. Let's see what happened with the 3. He got squeezed up there by Neil Galloway and just turned Flores into the leader. And it was all on from there. Jake Galloway involved. And then watch what happens here. They all get caught up again. Kelly comes up the track. Collects Lee again. Luigi piles in. Price and they all pile in. Dewey Goodman flips over. Richard Murphy flips over. Tony Newman goes over. Oh, and a hard link there between Galloway and the 3, and it's all just gone absolutely wild here at Daytona. Let's go on board with what your leaders saw. Jack Lagasse, who is out front. This is what he saw. No idea it was coming, got straight up in the wall and just over he went. Nothing else he could do. Let's take a look on board the 11 of Jake Galloway. You see it here. Neil goes down and they just all start wrecking. A huge pile up here. A load of cars that went over there. He got tagged by Thomas Kelly. Oh, Joe Jefferson, Noel Jenkins. It's just mad. See what your pole sitter Tom Warham saw. He went right down to the infield. So he was actually down in 13th almost. It just all started kicking off. He got a big shunt there from the 18 car. The 92 got into him as well, but the 13 went along for a wild ride. Scott Watson. And if you look over here, how many cars just piled up in this. He comes running in again. Look who's there. Oh man, hits another one of them. I think that was 92 of Tony Newman. Final one we're going to go on board is Thomas Kelly. See how he caused that kind of many second wreck See, he is coming down to the inside. He hits Galloway there. Then gets touched by Newman. And Murray goes up. Frank involved. Lloyd. And they all just pile in. Dewey Goodman. Jay Jefferson. Kaylee Baran. Larry Wood made it around the outside. But look how many torn up race cars there are. A small number of cars made it through that without any damage. Jacob Mitchell was going to lead them back to the line. Mitchell and Galloway, who caused the wreck almost there, really, will be 1 and 2. Edison managed to finish in behind them. Absolutely huge wreck here. No, not all we want to see at all. It really was just so big. Anthony Flores down there with a load of damage. Roger Ray, though, and Harry Schneider made it through. But a massive, massive wreck here. Have to see who is, well, probably going to be out of this race. Not at all what we want to see, but a massive wreck here. Doesn't look like Flores is going to make it back to the pits. See if any of them go down the pit lane. They're all going to come down pit lane here, it looks like. Mitchell, Neil Galloway, Derek Edison, Roger Ray, Harry Schneider as well, James Stabilito has damage. All going to come down to the pit road. For the first time, we have a caution in speed weeks. Very unlikely, I know, but yeah, it is. Let's see what happens. So Mitchell. See, you make, like, Gumball TV1 again. TV2 then, who's going to make it out? It will be Mitchell who makes it out first. Looks like Edison made it out second, but a massive wreck here. We'll have to see who's a bit of kerfuffle in there. We'll have to see who's out of this race once we come round the turn then. I mean, that was just huge then. Right, we'll see you back at the restart. Right, so here we go then. Coming back to the restart. I think, don't know why it doesn't show up here, but I think everyone from the free car. Wow, man, a lot of cars caught up in that. Mitchell lead them back, but out is Al Agassi, Brandon Lee, Derek Hamill, Tom Warham, Sylvester Curry, Jay Jefferson, Earl Jenkins, Kaylee Baran, Jack Lagacy, Code Luigi, Joe Jefferson, Gregory Ross, Scott Watson, Anthony Flores, Jake Galloway, Tony Newman, Thomas Kelly, Dash Baran, Aaron Price, Richard Murphy, Dewey Goodman, and Lucas Graves all out. We're back racing with only 20 cars left in the race. Mitchell leads the match to the green flag at Daytona. 20 laps to go, 20 cars in the race. It's incredible how many cars that's taken out. But Mitchell got a flying start. He does not have much support. Edison's down there in the 32 car. I imagine some of these cars will have damage from that wreck as well. So maybe won't be as fast as maybe the other cars are. But here come the pack. They haven't really formed up a line yet, but they looks like they're starting to. Roger Ray and Neil Galloway are down there on the inside. Edison then comes to the line to lead off the restart. Absolutely massive wreck there. But Mitchell back down to the inside for Hendrick Motorsports in the 9 team. Yepes will move looking down low. Yepes will move down low. Galloway moves up. Here comes Diego Yepes making a bold 3-wide move for the lead here. Fantastic overtake from the 31 car. looking for the lead, but does he have enough help? As it looks like Derek Edison is staying on right now. Not enough help from Roger Ray in the 1 car. Edison will continue to lead out front here at Daytona. Controlling the race pretty much now is the 32. 31 just not getting enough of a push ready to go to lead, but Neil Galloway will move down to the inside. Edison continues to lead out front. He's got a strong 32 car, it looks like at the moment. No one seems to be able to overtake him, but maybe now with a bit more help on the low side from Galloway, Yepes can get to the lead. Roger Ray, Colton Yo and Todd Edwards also down there. On the high side, Jerry Jackson, your Clash winner. Always can be a dark horse during the 500. A few of them have broken away now. Looks like Marcus Sachi's broken off the pack a bit. There. Who else? James Stabilito and Joe Frank have. Harry Schneider. But the rest of them all still have a very good chance of winning it here. Neil Galloway down to the inside for Joe Gibbs Racing in the number 19. Looking to take the lead in the 500 here. Yepes and Galloway neck and neck out front. The one of Roger Ray down there as well. Teammates Ray and Yo working together to get to the lead here. But Yepes still very strong in that 31 car. Just doesn't seem there's enough help on the inside lane at the moment for Galloway to make a push through to the lead. He has got his teammate there, the 20 of Danny Lloyd, if he needs it, but Lloyd not being able to get down to the low side just yet. The 41 of Gustavo Rocha staying on well at the back of the pack. And the 18 at the back of the pack is also there. But it looks like he might tail off. So there might only be 2 Gibbs cars left in the race to help Galloway get to the front. But Neil Galloway and Diego Yepes continue to battle out the lead as we're now halfway through the Daytona 500. That massive wreck, leaving only a few cars left to battle it out for the win. But Galloway's looking strong at the moment. However, you can't rule out anyone. Anything can happen here at Daytona. Roger Ray and Colton Yo still looking to make a move. Larry Wood is down there as well. Looks like Roger Ray and Colton Yo are going to get through down to the inside lane here and make it stick. Maybe not. Maybe they just have not got enough momentum. It's very interesting to see how this race is playing out, because the 31 and the 19 have been dominating out front currently. No one else has been able to get a touch on them, really. In the second row, Roger Ray, Jacob Mitchell and Derek Edison also there. Don't rule them out. It looks like the 18 of Stephen Davis starting just to tail off a bit now at the end of the pack, so maybe something of a bit of a concern there for the 18 team. Are they catching any of lap cars yet? No, the lap cars are way in front, so that does not look like it's going to be an issue. But Yepes and Galloway are still trying to fight out over this lead here. No one else has been able to make a breakthrough. These two cars have been strong, but in come a few of them to the pits. Yepes, Edison and Rufus Barrett have stayed out. Will this be the strategy that brings them the Daytona 500? Of course, Diego Yepes stayed out in the clash. It almost got him the win. And also, I think very interestingly to pick up here, the 96 of Jerry Jackson and the 33 of Todd Edwards also stayed out. Of course, Jackson won the event. Todd Edwards was there at the end. So this strategy, they might be trying to play it again here in the 500. But Yepes, Rufus Barrett and Edison, Derek Edison, might come down this time. Yepes stays out for another lap. So Diego Yepes will continue to lead out front here in the Daytona 500. Has anyone else stayed out with him? Gustavo Arocha has, the 41 car. Still out front in the 500. Lloyd and Davis came in that time. This might just split the race up a bit. This might make it a bit more interesting by playing some strategy here. But Yepes will continue lead out front. Will he come down to the pits this time? Yes, he will. Yepes is coming in. Is the 41 coming in? No, he isn't. Gustavo Arocha staying out again. Arocha is your leader for this lap. So Arocha staying out for a long time really is trying a very big overcut here on the rest of the field. An interesting strategy. Will it pay off? I don't think so, but you never know what could happen. Maybe trying to catch caution so he can come to the pits under caution without losing too much. You don't know what the drivers are thinking to do here. We've got 10 laps to go now. Arocha will come down to the pits this time. Gustavo Arocha come down finally. Who got out in front? This is the pack. And looks like the overcut has worked again with Rufus Barrett and Jerry Jackson. But Colton Yo, Neil Galloway and Jacob Mitchell, who pitted originally first time round, have cycled through the front. But those that worked the overcut are there as well. It looks like this 6-car pack will be the main contenders for the 500. Neil Galloway, Colton Yo, Jacob Mitchell, Rufus Barrett, Derek Edison and Jerry Jackson. All look like massive contenders here in the 500. They go past Arocha. That strategy hasn't paid off for him. But the overcut worked for some, didn't work for the others. Yepes and Edwards, who stayed out, didn't get positions. But Barrett, Edison and Jackson, who did stay out, has paid off for them. So it's paid off for different drivers. Jerry Jackson now goes down to the low side, trying to make something happen for the 9 of Jacob Mitchell. Someone else that's quite interesting, the 43 of Calvin Moss, has caught up to them here. Calvin Moss now a factor in the 500. Jacob Mitchell out. Here comes Jerry Jackson down to the low side in the 96. We know how dangerous he can be. Coming to 8 to go this time by in the 500. This 7-car pack looks like to have played it right, and you would think one of these will probably end up being the winner here. Mitchell on the high side, Derek Edison, Jerry Jackson and Calvin Moss down low, Neil Galloway and Colton Young on the high side. Now Rufus Barrett will move to the inside lane. What will happen here at Daytona? The big one, the 500. Who's going to pull through? Derek Edison in the 32 has had a strong car all day. But so has the 19 of Neil Galloway. He's been fast. But Jerry Jackson down to the inside. We know how dangerous he can be here. He's had fantastic speed weeks, he has. Jerry really been enjoying the Daytona experience. But literally there's nothing that can separate these two lines right now. They're almost neck and neck all the way around the track. Looks like maybe the inside line maybe have a slight bit of advantage because they have 4 cars compared to 3. You just never know here at Daytona. Jackson now goes up high. Will that allow Calvin Moss to come through and take the lead? It will. Calvin Moss pushed by Barrett and Yo down to the inside. Now Neil Galloway moves down there, and the inside line looks like to have a breakthrough here. And I think that's the place to be. Look at this, Rufus Barrett in the 25 racing for Dodge. How incredible would that be? A Dodge back to victory lane and go back to victory lane in the 500. Rufus Barrett now out front in the 25 car. 5 to go in the 500. Which one of these 7 cars is going to win it? Or are they going to wreck? Or is strategy going to come into play again? You don't know here at Daytona. Like I've said so many times. Something could just happen. That bottom lane, Colton Yo, Neil Galloway making it 3 wide in the 19. Jacob Mitchell will go with him. Rufus Barrett though continues to lead out front. But they're 3 wide behind him. Barrett looking strong out front now. Yo, Moss and Galloway battling from behind. Exactly what Rufus Barrett wants to see. Neil Galloway has been left for toast there, like by Jacob Mitchell. It all depends where Colton Yo goes though. These 7 cars battling it out for the biggest race of the year and to be called a Daytona 500 winner. But Rufus Barrett and his Dodge are really looking strong out front. No one seems to be able to catch them. However, Harry Schneider, a slow car coming up. Could this change the outcome of the 500? 3 to go here now. Anyone's race to win. The low side. The high side. Where is Harry Schneider going to go? Will he be able to get out of the way, or will he affect the outcome of this race? It looks like he will. They're catching fast. Colton Yo in the 42. Remember, if a caution comes out now, the race is over. They do not get around Schneider, and he goes to the high side. Colton Yo is way out front. Now, that could be a bad thing though, because if they get the draft, they could run you down, and the high side has been caught by the lap car. Calvin Moss, Jerry Jackson, and Derek Edison all caught up. 2 to go though, now in the 500. Colton Yo out front in the 42. Jacob Mitchell, Neil Galloway, Derek Edison, down on the low side, Rufus Barrett on the high side. They're all jostling for position. What an exciting finish to the 500. Jacob Mitchell is out front. Any one of these 7 cars looks like they could win it. Here we come then. White flag for the Daytona 500. Edison and Jerry Jackson to the low side. What an incredible last lap this is. Derek Edison to the lead. Jerry Jackson there as well. Jackson moves high with Edison. What is going to happen? Edison continues to lead strongly out front. Is anyone able to catch him? The 32 team has been strong all weekend. Will anyone be able to catch him now? Jackson looking for the move, but it's not going to happen. Derek Edison is going to win the Daytona 500 for the 32 team. What a race by that number 32 team. Fantastic job from Derek Edison. He is your Daytona 500 champion. I thought Jerry Jackson might have made a move. He didn't though. And Edison prevails. Here at Daytona. Fantastic 7 car shootout here. Let's go check your finishing results. Here are the results then for the Daytona 500. Here Here we go then. So Derek Edison is your winner, leading 4 laps, surprisingly. Very dominant. Jerry Jackson finishes second. Caps off a fantastic round for him. Jacob Mitchell third, who led 7 laps, tied with Diego Yepes for most. Then Neil Galloway finishes 4th. Calvin Moss finishes 5th to round out your top 5. Then Rufus Barrett finishes 6th. Colton Yo 7th. Diego Yepes 8th. Danny Lloyd 9th. And Gustavo Arocha 10th. That rounds out your top 10. Then Todd Edwards 11th. Elijah Murray 12th. Stephen Davis 13th. Alan Gray 14th. And Roger Ray 15th. Then we have Larry Wood 16th. Marcus Sacchi 17th. Joe Frank 18th. 19th was James Stabolito. And 20th was Harry Schneider, who was running a lap down. Then we're going to run through all the cars that got involved in that massive wreck there at whatever lap it was, lap 5 I think, very early on. So Al Lagasse, Brandon Lee, Derek Hamill, Tom Warham, Sylvester Curry, Jay Jefferson, Earl Jenkins, Kaylee Baran, Jack Lagasse, Code Luigi, Joe Jefferson, Gregory Ross, Scott Watson, Anthony Flores, Jake Galloway, Tony Newman, Thomas Kelly, Dash Baran, Aaron Price, Richard Murphy, Chewy Goodman and Lucas Graves all caught up in that huge wreck then there at Daytona. A massive wreck. And yeah, let's go check out the standing. Here are the standings then after 138 events, and your top 10 is Derek Edison in first, Jerry Jackson in second, Jacob Mitchell third, Neil Galloway 4th, Calvin Moss 5th, Rufus Barrett 6th, Diego Yepes 7th, Colton Yo 8th, Gustavo Arocha 9th, and Danny Lloyd finishes 10th. So yeah, very enthralling Daytona 500. Fantastic race. We'll be moving on to Atlanta for the next race in the Pennzoil 400. Until next time, this has been NRUK, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.